Now, I was supposed to be on a buying ban, wasn't I? Oh dear, I've bought some stock. But I haven't spent a lot of money, only 30 quid. And I will show you guys what I've picked up and the reason I picked it up. Anyway, welcome back to the channel. If you're new to the channel, my name's Dave. I run a business called The Magical Toy Cupboard, selling vintage toys, vintage comics, vintage annuals, collectibles. If you like this sort of thing, anything to do with reselling, sourcing, picking up stock, going to car boots, picking stuff up at charity shops, generally just the full journey of reselling, then drop a like at the end of this video. Go and check out my other videos like them if you like them as well, and why not subscribe, and you'll be able to see more content. I'm trying to put out 2 videos a week. That's the plan as a minimum, which I've stuck to since I've got back to doing it again, which is great. So yeah, at the end of this video, if you like it, click the like button, click subscribe, and happy days. Right then, I was on a buying ban. I was trying to get rid of stock out of my unit, stock that I've got in the cupboards at home, not buying anything if I can possibly help it. But I then saw a load of audio cassette books for 30 quid, like hundreds of them. A lot of them like in big cases, like doubles and stuff. And I thought, 20 minutes down the road, 30 quid. It's not a massive outlay. So you tell me, guys. I'm going to show you what I've picked up and have a look and see if you think I'll make some money out of it. I've got to do a lot of research on it, obviously. But even if I bundle them up, I'll definitely make my money back, obviously make some profit. But how much profit am I going to make out of it? I don't know. With 30 quid outlay, there's a big gap there to make plenty of profit, I think. I have picked up some audiobooks in the past, but not very many. So I just did a small bundle and I picked some up at the car boot for like 50p a quid, like a load of them. So obviously I picked them up. But yeah, 30 quid for loads of them. Drop a comment in the comments and just say, let me know if you picked these up before, how well you've done with them. Have I picked up a load of duds? Was it a complete waste of time? I don't know. I'll show you what I've picked up anyway, guys. Let's have a look. Right, so starting over here, it's the first bundle. And as I say, they are, you know, quite big, chunky boxes. Flashman and the Angel of the Lord, read by Timothy West. That's Timothy West. I thought I recognised the name. Pretty sure. Did he recently pass away? I can't remember. Anyway, yeah. So inside we got lots of tapes in there. Tapes in there. As I say, there's a lot of tapes in that one. Big set. Like I say, I've got to do tons of research with this. So they're all pretty similar. They're all, you know, big chunky audio tape boxes, all sorts of different titles, different genres, which is good. My plan is obviously do some research. If there's any singular ones that are worth a fair bit of money, I'll list them singularly. If some of them can be doubled up, if they're like sets, then obviously I'll do that. I'm going to throw them on Vinted as well, see how I get on with that. Agatha Christie, I mean, that might be popular because, hang on a second, there's another one there, and hang on a second, there's another one there, so perhaps there's quite a few, because at the minute, I don't know if anybody's watched it. There's a Netflix drama with quite a few good, well-known English actors in it, about one of the Agatha Christie stories. I think it's called Seven Dials. Really good if you've not seen it. It's only a 3-part thing. Really good on Netflix at the minute. So you never know when something's on the telly or on Netflix or out in the movies and you pick something up like this. Sometimes it, you know, goes quite well because it's current. So yeah, you never know. You might try that. But like I say, there's plenty of different titles here. This Elizabeth Peters seems to be quite popular because I'm pretty sure there's loads of different ones of her. There we go. There's the Pharaohs. And in here, which I thought was quite good, you've got Sharp's Waterloo. Now I can imagine that doing quite well because that's quite popular. Obviously I've got to check that they've got all the tapes in and what condition they're in. Now obviously I'm going to have to get something and test them. I have got some, but it's going to take a long time, is it? I'm not going to listen to the whole thing. As long as it plays kind of thing, it's not all warped. It shouldn't take a massive amount of time, but it is going to eat into my time. So when you're picking these things up, depending on what you pick up, it depends how long the process is going to be to listing it. Obviously, a lot of toys I pick up, I can list straight away if they're fairly clean. Sometimes, like the Thomas stuff I pick up, I have to take it apart, I have to test it, I have to clean it. Sometimes I don't work, so then you've got to do a bit more work. It can take a bit longer, depending on the pickup. And to be honest, it depends on who you pick it up from. You kind of know when you turn up to pick the stuff up, without sounding horrible, what you're going to get from the state of the house, which does sound really snobby, and I'm not a snob, but trust me, I've turned up some places and I've thought, should I have come here? Am I going to get mugged? That is sounding bad, but I've had to chuck over my shoulder, literally fearing for my life. Anyway, so yeah, you've got a good few titles in there. Look, that's a good one. Brideshead Revisited. What we got here? I've got all that. So they're all these big, massive, double packed things. So you'd like to think they'd be worth money. I could punch it in. They're probably worth a couple of quid. Who knows? I don't know. We'll see, won't we? We'll see. But yeah, like I said, there's loads of different ones in here. So you've got Flashman in the Great Games. That's, hang on a second. So Flashman. Oh right, so Flashman is obviously a character. That's Flashman. Must be some sort of series. Excuse me. Aren't Gentlemen. Elizabeth Peters again seems to be very popular. Now, the Two Towers, J.R.R. Tolkien, Lord of the Rings. Again, you'd think that would fetch some decent money. Who knows? Lindsay Davis, Sharp's Triumph, Lindsay Davis again, and then also there's absolutely loads. I don't know what this is because it doesn't really say what it is. I'll have to have a look inside that. This one's all sealed, brand new and sealed, but again, it might be worth 2 or 3 quid, who knows. But at the end of the day, like I said, I shall research them up. If they're worth any money singly and they're worth decent money, I'll put them on. I'll bundle others up. I'll put them all on Vinted, obviously. Like I say, on Vinted. If I pay 30 quid for all these, obviously I haven't finished showing you yet, there's bloody loads of them. Even if I do get 3 quid each one, to be honest with you, it will all mount up at the end of the day, guys. Right, J.R.R. Tolkien again, Silmarillion. I've never heard of that in my life. Maybe some of you guys have heard of this. Yeah, if you have, drop in the comments. Never heard of that one. Got here. Jack Higgins' Eagle has landed. Now, I've heard of Dick Francis. He's done a lot of books. I did pick up a ton of books at a car boot once with him, and they went really well. And I mean, I literally think I listed them the same. They sold the same day. I've never seen any since. Now, before I get to these, what is this? This is huge. So, Deepak Chopra, Magical Mind, Magical Body. Size of that one. Interesting. Now, I have had these before, these Harry Potter audio books read by Stephen Fry. Now, there's those. Okay, and then in here, there's all those. So as I say, there's tons of them. So obviously I have to make sure I get them all, you know, sorted through into like part 1, part 2 and so on. Again, I really like to sell them as they are, so that, you know, Order of the Phoenix, I'll sell that. Goblet of Fire there, look. Philosopher's Stone. I'm not going to bundle all these up in one massive hit because, you know, somebody might already have the others. And again, your problem's going to be that they're cassette tapes. You know, if they're CDs, then they might be more desirable, but because they're cassette tapes, this is only really going to appeal to a certain demographic, but they're all out there, so we'll see. Like I say, so there's all them Harry Potter there, which is fantastic. These seem to be, oh, here we go again. So Elizabeth Peters. I need to do some research on Elizabeth Peters. She seems to have done quite a lot. The hippopotamus pool. Now, why have they got numbers on? Or has somebody else numbered them up? Do these all carry on? I don't know. They all seem to be themed around Egyptians and stuff, so perhaps they do. Christian theme over here. Elizabeth Peters, Lord of the Silence. That just seems to be a different one, but again, yeah. So yeah, like I say, that's all them, as you can see. There's like, you know, absolutely tons and tons of those. Then we've got another box over here. Inside here, we've got absolutely loads of just the normal double cassettes. Again, yeah, there's different titles. There's, you know, Ayrton Senna, look, that's not been opened, that's new and sealed. Yes, Prime Minister 2, Dickie Bird, so Stephen King, that might go well. Yeah, it's this, The Nation's Favourite Poems, lovely. Not my cup of tea, but you never know. There's a couple of single ones in here. Oh, that's not been opened, look. Raymond Briggs, The Bear. That looks like it's come free. PG Tips. There might have been a vintage, nostalgic Worth. The Bad Spell for the Worst Witch. Oh, Meghan Markle. There we go. Oh, Bar the Elephant. I'm pretty sure that was on when I was a kid. I think I was too old to watch it then, but I'm pretty sure I still watched it in the morning. Oh, here we go. Dick Francis. Happy Days. Derek Jacobi. The Importance of Being Earnest. I've heard of that. Yeah, like I said, there's loads. So you've got all these double ones here. Look again. Oh, Hamlet. Isn't there something like the cinema at the minute? Have I got that wrong? Interesting. Charles Dickens, Ruth Rendell, Elizabeth George, Wilbur Smith. So yeah, quite, you know, they're all popular names. So they might go well. They might go well. All those, look. All those in there, and then you've got the bottom of the box. All those as well. So as I said, you know, 30 quid. You can't really go wrong. I'm pretty sure. Well, there we go. You can go wrong because me just showing you that now, I've just smashed a piece off the case. Well done, Dave. Never mind, I'll glue that back on. I'm sure that's not going to be a massive problem. Let's be honest, it's only one of them. So yeah, 30 quid spent. Absolutely hundreds of them. Lots of different genres, lots of different authors. So you'll appeal to a nice wider range rather than having just one type. Obviously that's going to appeal to everybody. I've got a good blend there. So the final box to show you, because there is more, guys. Like I said, I think it was worth the 30. Got all this in here. So by the looks of things, what have we got? So a couple of double ups there. Ruth Rendell again. As I say, what I might do, if they're not worth anything on their Todd, like I say, if I've got a load of Ruth Rendell, I'll stick them together. A load of Dick Francis, stick them together. It's a nice little bundle. As long as they're not like, you know, odds and they all sort of match up. And they're part of the same theme. That's not got a... Hang on a minute, what's going on here? This one needs putting back together. That again doesn't look like too much of an issue. Charles Dickens again. We've got here the Royal Forks History of Opera. Michael Palin, that might be interesting to somebody. So like I say, you know, that's new and sealed. There's quite a few new and sealed as well, so obviously that helps. I'm obviously going to think this is going to appeal to the older generation, who might still have cassette recorders to play them on. Some people don't like change and stick with the same thing. My granddad lived to his 105, believe it or not, and he had a, you know, radio cassette player still to the day he died, and he used it a lot. So yeah, like I say, I've got all these in here. More at the bottom. Pull Through, Talking Heads, Patricia Cornwell, and we've got all those in the bottom of there. So yeah, I think for 30 quid, I think it's a decent pickup. As I say, let me know in the comments if any of you picked these up before, and if you've done any good with them. Right, so also while I was at the unit, what I'm trying to do is bring back some stock that's been sat in there that's not listed, and just try and get through some of the, like the backlog, the or, you know, death pile as we call it. That has been the plan from the start of this year. So, you know, just picking up any books that might go for a fair bit, stick them on Vinted as well. I've had this book for well over a year. It's not in the best condition, with the dust jacket there. It's a bit creased, but this tends to go for between 10 and 20 quid. So see how that goes. Yeah, picked that up at a car boot. I don't know, you know, it's probably worth nothing, but it wasn't expensive. Again, something like that go on Vinted for a couple of quid, 3 quid or whatever. Yeah, there's another book. That's just about stuff that you might have had as a kid and how much it's now goes for and how popular it was. So that's quite interesting. I don't know if to keep that actually. Might be good for research, to be fair. What's this? Football comic book heroes. So yeah, just a random bunch of books. You know, I can put on Vinted, I can put on eBay. Get a bit of cash in. What we've got here, the Oxford Illustrated Dictionary, massive one. They go for decent money at times. God knows what that is, some old book. You never know, somebody might buy it. French English Dictionary, that's quite old to be fair. Superman Annual, probably worth about a £5. I just picked up there, just a random, like I say, random bunch. Do a little bit of research, get it listed up. If it doesn't shift, and obviously I'll add it to the pile of books I'm starting to accumulate for World of Books that I'm going to send there and give that a go. So I've got absolutely hundreds that need going. The Bruins, Catherine Peterson. Again, you just don't, until you research them up, they could be worth not a lot, could be low level, but we will see. If I don't get it, you know, sorted through and get it on, I'm never going to know. I just picked up a bunch of random figures. I don't even know what these type of figures are. If anybody knows in the comments that could help out, I'd be grateful, because I've never seen them in my life, but I seem to have a few of those. So yeah, and probably on Vinted, and then just a random bunch, like I say, figures like this, bundle of figures on Vinted. Again, usually get rid of them easily, you know, on there. There's another one. I don't know if it's that from that. Who knows? They might have. Normally, if they've got something on their feet or on their back, you can normally search it. But when they haven't, it's an absolute like nightmare. It's a needle in a haystack. So yes, if you've got any info on them guys, drop it in the comments, please. This does seem to have something on it at the bottom, so that helps. Don't know what that is, but yeah, another Vinted thing, I reckon. And then I've got a load of Trackmaster Revolution track here. I'd put a bunch on eBay and Vinted. It sold on Vinted yesterday actually, the other bundle, so I've got to get that packed up. So I'll just dug these out. Probably chuck that on for about 20 quid. Not a vast amount, but you get 20. And then I'll pick these up. That's just the 1st of January 2000, probably anywhere for £5. 3000th issue is that, probably anywhere for £5 at best. That I've sold before for 8 quid, believe it or not. That's a 60th birthday Beano, but I don't know. I only picked that one up because I've got a bunch of Beano comics. I know other vintage comics need to bundle together, and that's just going to go in there to that. So that's what I'm going to do. So the plan is to research all these, you know, start getting some listed on, and then once I've done that, I've got them listed, I will get these bits on, take them back to the unit then, and grab some more. And yeah, the buying ban it's kind of come to an end because I've bought something, but 30 quid outlay, who knows what it will turn into, never know. So that brings us to the end of the video. You've seen what I've picked up, and yeah, my plan going forward with it. Like I say, if you can help me out in the comments, if any of you picked up audiobooks before, or them little figures, if you know what they are, that'd be fantastic. I'd appreciate it. If you've liked this video, drop a like, subscribe, go and check out my other videos and do the same. As I say, it helps the channel and it gives me a bit of a push to put more content out, and makes it sort of worthwhile for me doing it. I've started to enjoy doing these now anyway. As I say, I'll drop a link as well in my in this video for my eBay store, which is the Magical Toy Cupboard. You can find me on Facebook as well, Facebook Marketplace. Facebook page I've got on there as well. I'm on TikTok, I'm on Instagram. So yeah, give me a follow on there as well if you want. Yes, I hope you guys have liked it. I hope you will have cracking sales today and going forward in the week. And I'll see you next time. Thanks.